to have you once again joining us in the world of sports on the show 360 Sport. We just have to quickly look at the happenings in the world of sport. Joining me in the studio is Ibrahim Yusuf. Good to have you, Ibrahim.
Good to be here, Adini, and nice to have you back as well.
Yeah, good one there. At least I'm back fully.
Yes,
even though you were not here yesterday.
Yes, I wasn't. Yes, but you are back and you're well refreshed.
Seriously,
yes.
A lot of chicken or thereabout. Okay, now so quickly we go straight to the world of sports. We talk about the CAF are saying that VAR will be used in all the AFCOON matches that will be coming up at African Cup of Nations in Cameroon. This is a very good development where CAF, Confederation of African Football, right now telling the whole Africa, the whole world that we have come to stay. We want to make sure this event comes up, and we will be putting up our VAR in all the matches that will be coming up at AFCON from beginning to the end.
Yes. Well, it is a very good development. VAR has come to stay in world football now. Lots of people at places are using it. Lots of tournaments are actually using it as well. So it's high time the CAF actually joins that particular bandwagon. What I'm afraid of with using VAR in Africa is, you know, we have this history of dodgy officiating and whatnot. And even now, in other places that have started using VAR way before CAF did, there's still some dodgy calls that are being made, even with VAR. So I just hope that these kind of calls will not come and mar the AFCON for us in this kind of situation. But using VAR is actually a good one, and we hope it will make the tournament even better.
But when you look at the technology, when it came, and a lot of people were like, oh, we don't want this thing, can it work?
Yes.
Since it's been made by humans, there's every opportunity for you to see errors.
Exactly.
Because nothing comes perfect.
Exactly.
But as it is, at least to some extent, VAR will reduce some issues concerning the matches. Yes,
some issues will be reduced and some issues will be created using VAR. If we look at how it's being used, you know, there's some very close offside calls, you know, with those lines that are being drawn. You'll see somebody's shirt just move in front of his opponent, and then you call the game for offside. I mean, what advantage will that give that particular person? I think those are down to the interpretation of the rules, and sometimes it's left to the discretion of the referee to make certain calls, whether to go to the screen, whether to listen to the VAR officials and all that. So I just hope that our African officials will be able to maximize VAR and use it the way it's supposed to be, so that we can eliminate certain level of controversy when it comes to African football.
Now look at some referees.
Yes.
If you check, even in Europe, at times they make that call, get to the VAR after agreeing that, okay, this is right, this is not wrong. And later you discover that the reviewer of such inside the building now come and say, no, that was an error. We've seen situations whereby the ref had to actually stop the match. It took minutes before they finally agree, and this kind of development weigh down players, and they get so unhappy, and the tempo of play drops. Yes. I hope in Africa we can get it. You know, the way we play our own football in Africa,
it's different.
It's different.
Yes, sir, it is.
African football is totally different.
Exactly.
We attach our African heritage to our own football.
Yes.
What goes on in Europe could be different here in Africa.
It is quite different. You know, as Africans, we are predominantly warrior people. So we actually put that warrior mentality in whatever it is we do, especially sports, you understand? So it's serious business, you know? So just like you alluded to earlier, a lot of people were actually skeptical about bringing in VAR because of stopping the flow of the game. We know that football is a game that should be played at a certain tempo, and it affects the players when you keep stopping and taking so much time to make decisions and whatnot. People like me, who actually were against VAR before it actually came, had this fear. But we found situations whereby they are improving these response times now. Most especially in Europe, decisions are being made almost instantly, and the game is not truncated as much as we thought it would be, or as it was earlier when VAR first came. So we just hope that it's coming into Africa now. We will not have delays of 10, 15 minutes before decisions are actually being made, even though they were going to be contentious or not, you know. So we just hope that now that it's coming into Africa, it will not truncate games for longer periods before decisions are actually made.
My fear is the mentality of the refs. I'm not saying they are not good enough, but the fact that most of the refs, you know, like you said, in Africa, our own mentality is quite different. The way we run our own things is different.
Exactly.
I'm not saying we are not right for this, but at times, what if decisions are actually taken wrongly in a way that jeopardize the whole match that players have really sweat to get result for. So I look I look forward to where I want to see what our reps will do in all the matches that will be playing AFCOON.
I think one thing we should actually ask is, okay, it's fine that CAF is saying that we're going to use VAR, but what have you done to make sure that the VAR is being used effectively? Have these referees been trained?
Yes,
have they been trained?
They've been trained.
Okay, and what is the assessment?
Of course, the assessment shows that they were ready. That's why they approved it. Yes, the assessment showed that they were ready. That's why they approved all the matches.
So let's just hope that those parameters will be all right, and then we'll get it right.
We just hope that African mentality will not come to play here.
Exactly. And well, we hope that it will be, what about goal line technology? We actually looked into something
the eagle eye.
Exactly, the hawk eye.
The hawk eye, rather.
Exactly. I think it's something that we should have even come first before.
Let's even do the VAR first before the
I think that should come first before the VAR.
No, right? as it is.
Yes.
As it is. I think it's better for us to let's master the VAR. That at least the whole pitch. Let's understand that. Yes. Then the goal line technology of Hawkeye. That one might be a bit more technical for RF. Please don't do that for Africa. Let's quickly move to another story trending now. As we talk about some Nigerians making the list of the IFFHS International Football Federation of Historic Statistics, where the CAF Best 11 has been named. We have 4 Nigerians making that team: Asisat Oshoala, Nadoze Chiamaka, the goalkeeper of Nigerian Super Falcons, made that list, and not forgetting others like Ngozi Okobi. Ngozi Okobi made it. Well, we have some other Africans: Ebli Badu of Ghana. You have Tembi Gatlana of South Africa. Osinachi Ohale, she was able to make it there. And you have Chiamaka, that I mentioned earlier, the goalkeeper, where we have the list there. Well, I think the way it is now, a lot of Nigerians celebrate the fact that we have 4 out of the 11 that made it first 11: Asisat Oshoala, Osinachi Ohale, Ngozi Okobi, and Chiamaka Nadoze. For the reserves, now the bench, we have 3. We have the person of Rashidat Ajibade, not forgetting Rita Chikwelu, who also made it there in that pecking order. In fact, Onome Ebi also was mentioned. Then the best coach, Bruce Nwape from Zambia, made that team. But looking at all, Barbara Banda from Malawi, Asisat Oshoala, the top 9 there, Tabitha Chawinga, the lady from Zambia, she's also there. You have Gabrielle Ogwene from Cameroon, not forgetting the Jeanette Yango, also a very good defender, Janet Van Vick from South Africa, alongside all the other 4 Nigerians making this particular IFFHS CAF Best 11. Although you can't call it a ceremonial 11, but at least we have to appreciate the fact that 4 Nigerians made this. Yes,
4 out of 11 is fantastic. And if you look at the spread of how the Nigerian players actually, we have a goalkeeper, we have a defender, we have a midfielder, and of course we have a striker, which means we have all
the at least wings now we have.
Exactly, we have players, we have very good players in all the positions, and it's something that we should be proud of. You know, having 4 players out of 11 in the whole of Africa, it's
and even in the reserve bench, we have 3.
Exactly. So it's something that we should be proud of, because when you talk about female African football, I mean, like Nigeria is right there with the best of them. We're still yet to conquer the world, which we hope we will be able to in a short while. But when it comes to African football, I mean, like Nigerian women are doing fantastic.
That short while, I need to quickly chip in there, which will take us a lot of work. You know why?
Yeah.
Other countries in women football in Africa are really closing the gap against Nigerian Super Falcons. Gone are those days when we were so invincible.
Exactly.
But now our invincibility is waning. And they are getting so close, like Victoria, Guinea, Angola, Ghana, Cameroon, South Africa, especially exactly. South Africa. They've really got so, in fact, they are even close.
So do you think it's because of Nigerians decided to rest on the laurels?
Yes, I think we've taken our leaderships for granted. By like, oh, we've done it for how many years, how many times, we are the queen of Africa, we've dominated this particular sport of football, women football in Africa. And before you know it, while we're still sitting down, looking at, oh, we are the giants in women football, others were closing the gap. They were closing the gap, and now it's very difficult that when our ladies play, even the small teams, even the one we call minnows are no longer minnows, because they've closed the gap. They've taken time to watch our clips. These Super Falcons, how were they able to defeat us 9-0? 10-0, 7-0 all these years. Now, you see Nigeria playing against small nation in football, and you discover that it's very difficult, even for our stars, to beat those teams. So for the World Cup, if we want to win the World Cup, we have to go extra mile. So back to what we were saying, the fact that for Asisat Oshoala, Osinachi Ohale, Nadozie Chiamaka, and Ngozi Okobi in all the positions, defense, midfield, attack, and also in the goalkeeping department, we have all the four. That shows that really, at least they really deem it fit to recognize our ladies that they've done good job in their clubs and also for Nigeria as a team. Exactly.
Well, it shows that something is being done right. I don't know whether it's the administration or the individual players themselves, whether they're doing something right. We can't really say. But it shows that something is being done right somewhere. You understand? But just like you said, the gap is being closed down now. We're not really the dominant force that we actually used to be. We suffer in games that we're not supposed to suffer. Sometimes we get beaten in games that we're not even supposed to draw. You understand? And when you're in a position like this, you don't fight to keep that position. You fight to make it better. But I don't think that's what we're doing. So we sort of like rested on our laurels and we're sitting on our hunches now and like, okay, we're the best, so come and get us. You understand? And they are coming to get us.
Now look at what happened at the CAF Women Champions League.
Exactly.
You saw how Rivers Angels were actually, they did not show that class. We were expecting that, okay, Nigeria will be able to at least make statement at the CAF, the inaugural edition, where we are thinking maybe Nigeria will scoop it. We didn't even get close at all.
Exactly.
So we just have to give it up to the South African ladies. They've really closed the gap. In fact, if we are not careful, these ladies are ready to rule Africa. Talking about the Bayana.
Well, when you look at South African football, you know South Africa is a country that actually has invested a lot when it comes to football development.
We can also invest.
You understand? That's the thing, but we haven't. That is the problem.
But
you know,
we do it. We don't do it.
We don't do it. That is the problem. So so they have done a lot. You understand? The Premier Soccer League is it's fantastic. You see their pitches, you see the facilities that they have. You know, and they're able to attract a lot of players. Even Nigerian players are actually running to South Africa to go and play now. You know, but how many South Africans do you have in the Nigerian league? When you look at it, I saw your program yesterday when you were talking about a particular pitch the match was being played on. It was like it
was as if they poured dust.
Exactly. You know, it was like my local field in my area that we used to go and play Sunday football.
Far better than
you understand? That. So that's the problem. And you see that this is your Premier League. So it's something that we really need to look at. We need to start looking at sports as a business, get investments in, get these facilities done so that we can have a plan, and then we'll take it up from there.
Okay, now if you look at the ladies that actually been mentioned in this particular IIFHS CAF Best 11 in their clubs, individually they've done well. As I said, we was able to at least win Champions League with Barcelona and also their league there, and also winning the other League Cup for Barcelona. You also look at Ngozi Okobi, who has been doing so well with our Swedish team, Eskilstuna, over there in Sweden. And you just have to look at the lady that just joined Paris FC in France. That's the goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nadozie. She has kept good clean sheet for at least about 6 or 4 games without being beaten. And just have to also look at Osinachi Ohale, a very good player for Madrid, who has done so well for our team. Rasheedat Ajibade with Atletico Madrid, she's doing so well. And you look at Onome Ebi also, what she's doing in football, despite the fact that she's aging, but she's still there, formidable as well. Rita Chikwelu, a very strong player who has done things all in football, still there. And I love the fact that both on the bench and also the first 11 will really command 7 players from Nigerian Super Falcons.
Yes, just like I said earlier, it's quite impressive that we've actually had have this number of players in the CAF 11. But when you look at those players, all these players that you actually listed out now, how many of them are actually home-based players?
Or foreign?
How many of them are home-based players?
No.
Exactly. All of them are foreign-based players. They play for the big clubs in Europe. You understand? So that's why I said something is being done right somewhere. You know, either the players themselves or the administration. But I really don't think it is the administration, it's the players themselves. Because they got themselves there. They're playing in these big leagues, you know. They are improving themselves constantly, and they're doing these things so that we can see it. That was why Rivers Angels found it very difficult in the CAF Champions League. Because domestically, we're not really doing much when it comes to female football. We're really not doing much. You understand? That was why it should have been a wake-up call for us, this Champions League disaster that actually happened, because I would like to call it that. Just like you said, we had high hopes for Rivers Angels to do something worthwhile, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So it should have been a wake-up call that, okay, fine, we're not doing something right in our domestic league. We spoke about female football awareness in Nigeria when it comes to the grassroots things. Lots of people don't even know we have a female football league. A lot of people don't know that, and it has been going on for a while. A lot of people don't know that. So how, if you don't create awareness, how can people be aware of what you're doing, and how can they come to invest or even know exactly where to go? We need to have plans. We need to have projects that we have plans, we have targets that we need to execute when it comes to development of these kind of things, most especially when it comes to female football domestically. You understand? Because that's where we need to start. We can't expect that these players will start playing from Sunday League and get, if they are lucky enough to have agents that have contacts overseas, get them overseas before we start reaping the benefits of having these people. You know, most of these players that we're heralding now made these things off the sweat of their own backs. They got to where they got because of what they did, not because of what the football administration
added to the value
exactly
of football
to them.
And I think it's just high time that the organizers, for example, now the Nigerian Women Football League, at times you don't, I still don't understand. Is it from the media officer? Is it from the organizer of the NWFL that you don't see the matches? You don't see the fixtures until maybe a few hours to you begin to see it now coming out, and then when the result, it's so kind of lackadaisical about the league. It's not been the way the men's league is being projected. That in fact the fixtures of how many matches that will be played is already coming to your face. Every social media handle you actually log into, you begin to see different one. But the NWFL is giving less publicity, less attention and all that. Even
when you look at it now, there's this craze that's sweeping everywhere about sports betting and whatnot. You have people betting on cricket league in India. You understand? But how many people actually bet on the Nigerian Women's League in Nigeria? And
the mentality that, okay, you know, in South Africa, how many South African players play abroad?
Exactly.
Majority of them playing it in South African league.
Because the league is strong enough.
Superb.
Exactly, because the
North Africans, Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Tunisia, and all the Arab, the African countries. You just have to look at their leagues. Few of them go out to play.
Exactly. And it goes down to the investment, having the facilities to be able to making the league attractive on its own.
You can do this now in Western Africa, especially. I've noticed this thing is very common in West Africa. If you check Southern Africa, South Africa, Botswana, Malawi, all this, Zambia, they go outside, right? But not compared to the way West Africa move en masse.
Exactly.
To Europe
or anywhere, or any other place.
Yes,
you have a place going to Angola. You have
Venezuela. We have people
you understand, going to very obscure places in Europe. You go there, you'll find a Nigerian player
for the
there.
cheddar, for the money.
Exactly.
So you just have to. They want to make money.
Exactly.
But if our league is standard, that that a player can earn the money. Even up to that amount, yes, we can pay like Europe, but when you know that a player can sit down, although they are being paid well now, I know that, but not to that level we are saying. I know a couple of Nigerian MPFL players earn good money, but how good is this money compared to what a player that is not up to their standard earns in Europe?
Exactly.
You understand? Because I can tell you that there are some players in MPFL that when they go to teams like Watford, Wolverhampton Wanderers, or all these maybe mid-table, down-table teams. They will perform.
Exactly. They'll do very well because we have the talent. Talent is not our problem. Talent has never been our problem. Our problem has always been administration. Our problem has always been having the right kind of projects to back and all that. You understand? So that's why you have our players reducing 10, 15, 20 years and then going abroad to go and play. You have players at 36 going to there to claim that they are 16.
And the mentality is
and before you know what's happening, his career has ended and he's officially 28.
Because of this will actually change in Nigeria. We hope things are done well. A lot of mentality that needs to be changed because we just don't do things rightly. We have to do it rightly. After all, we can only do our own better. No foreigner will do better than we do. Well, from there, let's quickly go to 2 more stories before we wrap the show up. We talk about a particular player of Torino. His name is Andrea Belotti. Belotti is being courted by AC Milan. Talking about Belotti, AC Milan, Napoli, and also Fiorentina are all in the news looking for this player, Andrea Belotti, a very good player who has been scoring for that team. He deserves to leave because his contract will be ending and he wants to move away from Torino. But the way it is, AC Milan, Napoli, Fiorentina, from the 3 teams, I think AC Milan and Napoli will stand a better chance.
Yes, actually, he is a self-confessed Milan fan. You understand? And Milan actually need him more than all these ones that we have actually talked about, because they have Olivier Giroud, they have Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and of course Piotr Pellegrini. You understand? Ibrahimovic and Giroud are no spring chickens. You understand? They've missed more games than they've played this season, so they actually need to bring in someone to show up that attacking place. Fiorentina are actually afraid of losing Dusan Vlahovic now.
In fact, they don't want to, because that guy has been
exactly. He has been absolutely phenomenal. He's been playing blinders throughout this year. You understand? So they are afraid of losing Vlahovic either in January or in the summer. So Belotti will be a very good backup, you understand, to replace Vlahovic that is leaving. Even though they are 2 different kind of players, you understand. But at least having someone, he's a target man. He's somebody who knows where the goal is, and he has been doing it for a while, and his experience will always come to bear.
And for Belotti, who's also a front man in Torino, to be on the bench for Vlahovic would be a bit difficult for him. He wants to.
Would be, because they're looking at losing Vlahovic.
Yeah, they don't want to lose
exactly.
him.
So if Vlahovic leaves, then Belotti comes in.
And I don't want him to go to Napoli. I don't want to disturb my Osimhen. trying to be a patriotic Nigeria, I beg your pardon. Now, we just have to quickly look at Newcastle versus United. It's Manchester United. It was a match that everybody wants to see. What will Manchester United do against Newcastle? And they want to draw. Newcastle United came. They almost, in fact, they should have won that game. Yes. They should have won that game.
Newcastle played one of their better games yesterday, and United were poor. United were shambolic.
Really shambolic.
Yeah, you understand. When you look at the adjectives used to describe United, you have slow, you have lethargic.
I saw one particular funny graphic that says Jurgen Klopp 4-4-3, 4-3-3.
Yeah.
What's his name? Thomas Tuchel 4-3-3. Guardiola 4-3-3. Ralph Ragnick. He doesn't know what he wants to use.
Exactly. So United were terrible, yesterday, and I believe they were even lucky to escape with a draw. My heart breaks for Newcastle. If I was to have a second team in the Premier League, it'll actually be Newcastle. Newcastle is a massive team. They have lots of fantastic followership. Their supporters are amazing. They don't deserve to go down. Newcastle, and I hope they don't. The good thing about it is that they've gotten some injection of cash, and January is coming around the corner. Let's hope they buy well enough so they can be able to make the difference and just escape relegation, and then before they start thinking about winning things, if they can. But really, Newcastle are a team that do not deserve to be relegated.
And the player that scored, Maximilian, really did well getting that goal, despite the fact that Cavani pulled one. But I looked at what happened when you were thinking, okay, man, you are getting it right. They begin to turn again. What's happening?
I think it's a question of mentality. I think Ragnick spoke about having a sports psychologist or better sports psychologist for Manchester United. Exactly, because I think it's a question of mentality. Their talent is not their problem. They have very good talented players. They have excellent players that can actually make a difference. But then there's something wrong within that Manchester United team. Something has gotten into the players' heads, and they're not really performing well. But I think one of the main problems with Manchester United is when they gave Harry Maguire the captaincy. That was when their problem started.
I really should just take it away from him.
I really don't think Harry Maguire is Manchester United captain. You understand? He came day before yesterday. Why give him when you have somebody like De Gea that almost kills himself for Manchester United? And of course, he
has been the savior of that.
Exactly.
Team. He did yesterday. It was
everybody saw it, and everybody saw what he did. But Harry Maguire comes in day before yesterday, and you take off you give him the captain's armband, and he is shambolic almost all the time.
I would name you day before yesterday. Okay, we've been talking sport from 360 Sports Table on Trust TV. It's been with Ibrahim Yusuf. Good to have you in the studio.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Good one there. Well, as we always say, sports is business and fitness. I am Adeni Jushafe. Thanks for watching.